Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays, playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We're in the Rapture of Rupture, talking to Vellexia. We asked her who she was. She laughs happily. Ah, how refreshingly direct. Well, let me tell you a little about myself. My name is Lady Vellexia, but it is common for others to add. It would have been nice to have her have a voice for this, but it is common for others to add a few epithets before my name, after often something like magnificent or illustrious. I held considerable influence in the upper city. You could even call it my little queendom. I am the foremost member of the city's elite, and all the aristocrats of Alushinyrra acknowledge me as their de facto leader. You might be under the misconception that the city is ruled by Chimera, but Chimera is nothing more than a glorified cleaner, entrusted with the responsibility of tending to the latrines. I, on the other hand, hold sway over the most powerful and influential demons in the city. You see, my dear friend Nocticula allows me to lead the nobility because I look out for her interests. She knows that I am loyal. Unlike most demons, I do not aspire to power beyond what I already possess. I would never stage a coup against Our Lady in Shadow, nor would I ever use my position in society to support anyone else in such a foolish endeavor. Good attacker. I'd like to get to know you better. Commander of a famous warrior known for honor of your attention and the pleasure of your inestimable company, where I seek your patronage. Well, patronage usually means I get a quest, right? Try patronage? Styled hair, she playfully twists a strand around her finger. Ah, a Galarian warrior seeks the patronage of a demon from the upper city, and you're a crusader, no less. This is most intriguing. You are a curious creature indeed, and I would be very interested to learn more about you. No need to bother with titles. You can simply call me Vellexia, and you are... I got 1900 experience points out of it. Don't put your trust in her words, champion. Velexia's temper is like the wind that blows across the Ishar. Changes constantly and bodes poorly for us no matter what direction it turns. Just watch her as vigilantly as a skilled sailor watches the horizon. I don't care. I tell everybody my name. You can call me Dren608. Tasting my... What an unusual name. Certainly not in keeping with the spirit of the Abyss, but I like it. You know, Dren608, I have a proposal for you. Let's pick a place that's nice and romantic, and I'll go on an instant little date together. It'll be a chance for us to get to know one another. How about the Battle Bliss? It offers simple spirit and entertainment and will be a good place for us to talk undisturbed. No one will notice us because they'll be too busy watching the fights in the pit. We can have a nice conversation and learn more about one another. We're waiting for you at the arena. I hope you'll accept my invitation. I will be very disappointed if you deny me the pleasure of your company. Admire Swirling adds, after all, you are the champion. You have conquered all the arena. Where better to learn more about you than in the place you proved your worth? Okay. I guess I have to go to the Battle Bliss? Hold on, gaze just between you and Arushula with lazy curse. And see the way you look at one another. You can't hide things like that from me. Could it be, my girl, that you have decided to play the most dangerous of all games? I don't know what you're talking about, Lady Vellexia. Does her best to sound polite, but you can tell that she is scared. What do you mean by that? Every pleasure is available to us here in the Abyss, but which is the most dangerous, the most offensive? Tell me, what is the most unthinkable perversion for a succubus? Dramatically answers one question, why it is the sweet self-deception, of course, the gentle feeling so cherished by mortals to let down your guard and relinquish control, to expose your delicate, defenseless throat and persuade yourself, just for a moment, that your partner does not want to rip it open. Oh, this game is far more dangerous than any entertainment involving chains, whips, and needles. You see, there are only two ways it can end. The first ending is quite simple. You grow tired of the game and you stop playing. Only yesterday you were persuading yourself that you couldn't live without your beloved, and today you don't feel like letting your beloved into the house. However, the second ending is far more exciting. If you allow the game to continue, one of you will eventually decide to take advantage of the other's defenselessness. In this situation, the game ends when one of you regains control of your senses and kills the other before they muster up their own courage to strike. Your feelings, whatever they may be, are real. Pathetic imitation of true affection. You are the one lying to yourself if you think you know anything about love. Demons and mortals, we are so alike and yet so different. Both are drawn into the mysteries and delightful dangers of the other, but here in the Abyss, this is how the game is played. Choose a demon as your partner, you have doomed yourself to one of these two possible outcomes. You know, she really has no idea what she's talking about. You could pick any random person off the street present and they would know more about true affection than she does. Someday you'll teach me to understand it too. She's not like you. She doesn't play those demons. Her feelings or whatever they may be are real. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, of course. That is exactly what you should be saying to one another. Receiving yourselves is the hardest part of the game and the most delightful. Please don't stay away too long. Come back soon. Okay, I guess I have to... She didn't give me a coin, did she? Okay, I guess I have to go to the Battle Bliss. Alright, I guess we gotta go to the Battle Bliss arena to meet up with her and keep this going. Right, check the journal. Okay, we go to the Battle Bliss. Let's go. How do I get to the Battle Bliss? I have to get up to this portal. Let me get to here. Where the hell am I? Oh, I have to get... Do I have to take a portal down? Oh, I guess I have to take this portal down, don't I? It's over here. Jeez, oh Pete. Where's that portal? Over here? There's a portal around here. Why is it I can't find things? There it is. We gotta go over by this portal. This portal over here. There it is. Okay. Gotta go to the Battle Bliss. I don't know, he probably doesn't want to see me anymore. The waste also ran out on him last time. Okay, so we're here.
Can't make the demons wait.
Good day, Vellexia has exchanged her previous dress for an equally young outfit. The blood-red hue of her new gown seems particularly fitting considering the activities in the arena. There you are. Let's hurry to the box reserved for distinguished guests. I am determined not to let you enjoy the spectacle from any other seats. Who's fighting in the arena today? The Bloody Freak, a fierce, promising newcomer from Clofir, will fight Etzlum, oft killed. Etzlum is a member of the Hunter League, the Elite Circle Bladder. He's earned close and has defeated hundreds of enemies. Of course, as her name suggests, she also died in the arena more than once, but she always comes back from the dead. Will it be a close match? Which fighter will prove victorious? It's time to place your bets. I'll that skill and experience are worth more than unbridled rage. Well, I'll take that bet. And for my sake, how about a kiss? That would be your reward if you win. I think whichever one I pick, I lose. Yep, whoever I pick loses. If I'd have picked him, she would have lost. Bloody Freak surges forward, launching into a brutal attack against Aslan. Aslan just tries to resist the onslaught, but the Bloody Freak is relentless. He strikes one furious blow after another, showing no signs of exhaustion or fatigue as he bears down on his opponent. Aslan appears to fight back against her enemy with quick, sudden attacks. Fails to find an opening. Her movements begin to slow, and her footsteps leave behind a crimson trail of blood. Observes you closely, her eyes sparkle with light and curiosity, and you are forced to turn your attention away from the fight as she asks, "Slavery is the cornerstone of our life in the Abyss. Gladiator fights are a popular source of entertainment. How are such shows perceived in your homeland of glory, and what is your view on slavery?" Speak for all of them on this matter. Indeed, I've heard that there are many different cultures on Galarian and that all of them have contradicting customs and traditions. Imagine the numerous clashes between these cultures are quite dramatic and provide an endless source of fascination for those who study them. With a victorious growl, the Bloody Freak hurls himself recklessly at his rival, who appears to be exhausted from her wounds. However, Aslan was merely feigning weakness. She dodges at the last moment and strikes a resounding blow. Blood gushes from the demon's wound, and his growl of rage gives way to a howl of desperation. Disintegrates the and then returns her attention to you, as she's clearly more interested in conversation than watching the fight. Nevertheless, even Galarians who are not enslaved are often forced to fight by those in authority. Yet they still charge into battle with as much zeal as those two gladiators down in the arena. So tell me, what gives them the motivation to fight? What do they hope to achieve? Whisper? Let's find out what the Hand of the Inheritor has to say. She's too gentle, too placid, nothing at all like how she used to behave in battle. No, when we fought one another, she was never meek and gentle. She was a flurry of rage and angry curses. This masquerade, these tricks of hers, that all seems very suspicious to me. Not seen to the souls of others? We could go lawful with the honor. Our conscience and nobility leads us into battle. Let's go with the good. Ah, how touching, such sincerity of belief. It is so charming. There are many warriors in the Abyss who are eager to fight, but they lack both the strength of your resolve and genuine faith you have in the rightness of your cause. That's them no longer putting on a pretense of weakness. Advances against the Bloody Freak, dealing him several painful blows. She strikes with precision, drawing blood, but never delivering a fatal blow. The audience goes wild as Atlan toys with her opponent. The smell of blood hangs heavy in the air. There's no doubt that the merciless symphony of violence being played out in the arena will soon reach its deadly crescendo. Joins Dren isn't fishing. He lets out a monstrous blood-thirsty howl. It reverberates around the arena as he channels his powerful rage into one last brutal attack. He strikes as swift as lightning, and Atlan, flurry of blows, is brought to a sudden halt. She sways slightly and doubles over as if embracing the blade that just plunged through her body. Then, with another primal roar, the demon cuts her down, dispatching his weakened opponent with one powerful strike. But every warrior will meet their death eventually. How did Galarians face the end of their life? Are they scared of death? Do they despise it, or do they welcome it as a friend? Memories of the deceased live on through their deeds. Your words distinguish you from a multitude of fools who think only about themselves and give no thought to the future. They fear death, and they tremble at the thought of their pathetic lives that come to an end. Howls the crowds are deafening, Bloody Freak oblivious to his numerous wounds, basks in the mirrors in the audience. The arena master's voice rings out across the land. All hail the winner, hail the Bloody Freak. Well, it looks like you lost over the wager, so what reward shall I claim from you? Ah, I've got something in mind. I'll accept your solemn oath that you'll come on another day. Alushinyrra rises from her place and announces loudly, I want this bloodthirsty fighter to be my servant. From now on, he is my slave, and anyone insolent enough to object will face my wrath. want to outbid Hepsimer. Only 26 there. What do I want to do? If you outbid Hepsimer for the gladiator, you'll wipe the smirk off her arrogant face. I only have a 26 in the world? Really? Let's try the diplomacy. That's the highest number. Get most experience points. 3 days, but fails to hide her mischievous smile. What a positively delightful deal. I can't resist. What do you want? What you do to me? You've discovered my weakness. Only moments ago, I commanded the attention of the entire audience as she boasted about her power. Now, however, when Vellexia rises from her seat, all eyes turn toward the syphilis. I dare to challenge the claim of the most esteemed Hepsimer. I am touched by this fighter's tenacity. He has found a way to my heart, and I wish to make him my bodyguard. If anyone dares to argue against my right to make such a claim, they can say it to my face. Okay, Hepsimer. The arena master glances cautiously at Hepsimer. Then he turns to Vellexia and gives her a respectful nod. The crowd erupts into cheers and shouts, clearly enjoying the public inclination of Baphomet's daughter. Hepsimer bellows and utters wild curses, and the sounds of her wrath shake the arena, but Vellexia ignores her threats with a look of magnificent disdain and gives you a sly smile. This was so exciting. I've enjoyed our time together here at the arena. However, I cannot resist the urge to appear with you somewhere in high society. I'm sure you wouldn't say no to attending a private reception with me at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. Tamara has prepared something special for her guests, and I would very much like for you to experience it with me. I shall wait for you at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. You really must come. I simply won't take no for an answer. Okay. Another 720 experience point. I'm just good. Oh, I finally got a gold coin to the upper city. Yay! It was the whole point of this thing. It's taking me 17 minutes to get it. Alexa suddenly pauses. She's about to leave. She turns towards you with a look of gentle approach. Oh, you should have reminded me. I nearly forgot. After such a wonderful time together, you must become a regular guest. I insist. Please accept this little gift as a reminder that the doors of my manor are always open to you. This coin is the key to the teleportation that is located in the upper city. I would not normally give something like this to my ordinary guests, but there's nothing ordinary about you, is there? Okay. Now I can get to the upper city without having to go through 10,000 dollars. Alright, we're here. We have to go outside. Hey, everybody. We need to go outside. You know what I think I'm going to do before I go through any more of this? Remember?
This war must end.
Yeah, I know. I need you to cast. Something I didn't think about, but anything that we're not being covered by our meals or whatever, that will get us all. Do that. We're going to the Harem of Ardent Dreams. I don't know. Shamira probably doesn't like me. I don't think she'll accept me there, will she? Harem of Ardent Dreams? Well, that's bouncing around. I need to seriously think whether I want to take out all the rest of the slave traders, too. It seems like that might be the way that you get the experience points. You need to make it one more level before you go to particular. Where am I at? I have to go up here. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink.
Beautiful.
And they kick me off my horse when I walk in here. Kicked me off my horse this time. Last time I was here, they kicked me off my horse. So there she is. Okay. It's a good idea of mine to introduce you to high society disruption. We're a subject of gossip among the guests. I heard them whispering about how we showed up together. So what will happen at this private reception? Alushinyrra came up with such an interesting issue, but dispense false justice. Out through the hall. All rise. The proceedings will now begin with the suspension of false justice. Alushinyrra, the ardent dream, will perform the duties of judge. The rights of prosecution will be granted to anyone acquainted with rage and hatred, and the part of the defender will be given to time and blind faith. All participants are obliged to show due dread and obedience to the decisions of the court. Now, our first case is brought by the assassin Dogword against the bodyguard for hire Ketrol. Dogword accuses Ketrol of being exceedingly nimble and dexterous. His excessive dexterity enabled the defendant to foil 3 assassination attempts against his employer, thus preventing the plaintiff from fulfilling his contract. We're interested in having conversation and watching the sham trial. You know, after our last puzzling visit in the Battle Bliss, I've been thinking a lot about the customs Cavalier. Our difference is we actually have a lot in common. Our actions and desires stem from the same passions, except when it comes to as foreign to the abyss as you are. To love, it is common knowledge that demons know nothing about love, so why don't you explain it to me? Oh, I'm pretty sure she's dangerous, but I'll talk to him anyway. She brought you here to witness this mockery of justice, to watch this genuine insult to truth and fairness. She's either trying to provoke you to violence or make you one of her obedient puppets. Okay, well, let's go with good. It's a pure and uplifting feeling in your soul that cleanses your heart of all burdens and pains. Pure and uplifting feeling. How intriguing and how unfamiliar. Our passions are tempestuous and our feelings stem from the darkest depth of our souls, but you say this feeling is pure. Fascinating. So not interested. Growling with rage, Control, the bodyguard, has his head chopped off with a giant axe for being too good at his job. The crowd roars its approval, and the beaming plaintiff counts his coins. This is preserving justice. They're making a mockery of the very idea of a fair and noble trial. They enjoy ridiculing the law. Is it not true that love restricts freedom, and that its harsh constraints can sometimes lead to cruel, evil deeds? Does not love force people to act contrary to their desires and subordinate them to the object of their affection? Do not even the most loving souls feel occasional regret about trading away their freedom for love? Haven't the most terrible betrayals ever been committed for the sake of love? Doesn't unrequited love cause mortals to commit suicide? And isn't rejection the reasons they often resort to violence and other terrible crimes? I'm most curious to hear your answer. No, they're caused by lust and dark desire, not true. Real love is pure and needs only pure deeds. If that is true, I can't help but wonder what happens to a demon who encounters true love. Will her love darken and die, or will the demon rise above herself? Raise your voice to be heard above the noise. Next, we'll hear the case of Varsa the Nose Cutter. He attacked 2 of Alushinyrra's visitors from another plane, even though the Great Nocticula made it clear that they were under her protection. Varsa the Nose Cutter tracked down his victims in the upper city and killed them with his glaive. Then he robbed them and cut off their tongues and noses. Scrawny demon. This scrawny demon doesn't look like a hardened killer. He's writhed in his shackles, yelling hysterically, "But I'm not Varsa the Nose Cutter. I don't know who that is. My name is Charzel, and I've never been in the upper city. I'm not allowed to enter, even though that's where a slaver of my status should live. Besides, I never held a glaive in my life. This is all Hepsimera's fault. She wanted to buy my slaves at half price, and I refused to sell, and now she's taking revenge against me and plans to get her hands on my slaves. It seems to me that love is like a living creature. Sometimes it behaves one way, and at other times another. It's contradictory and inconsistent, leads to both good and bad outcomes. And like everything, every living creature, it is bound to die eventually. After all, every love, no matter how strong, is doomed to die. And is that not so? That is true. Love always ends. It either ceases to be love or is lost altogether when the one we love dies. That is why we mortals value love so much. We know that it will be over before we are ready. That isn't true. We value it for the moments of true happiness. When you are with people you love, you can laugh and drink and joke and tell silly stories. And we feel like it will last forever, because when love is with us, death ceases to exist. Of course you are right. What you say is so nice, and it is so true. Love does help us feel less afraid of death. It can even make us feel immortal. Well, I've been going down good, so let's just stay down the good path. Don't lie to me. I need you to be honest. Do you truly believe that? Don't answer. I can see that you're being sincere. Now we gotta watch it. Another one dies. There are shouts to be heard about the screams of Varsa the Nose Cutter. The court finds the evidence of the indicated person's innocence to be quite convincing. However, false justice requires every sin be punished, so therefore I hereby declare that this demon is Varsa the Nose Cutter, and he shall be executed without further delay. Glance at Hypsamira, who stands nearby, with the latter grins and bows mockingly. Shamira announces loudly, "And the last crime for today is the most harmful and treacherous." What's she gonna say? Crime of sinful mercy. Okay. Wow. And the offense was further aggravated by an attempt at self-sacrifice. The tieflings brought forward and changed. Shamira glances fiercely at the bloody, beaten figure. The mortal stands before you as a descendant of Sharzal, a slave trader who died recently. A week ago, this tiefling was offered the chance to be an accomplice in the murder of his progenitor, Sharzal, in exchange for a portion of Sharzal's slave holdings. However, this mortal refused to participate in such a cunning, highly profitable murder, driven by some insane familial sentiment and disgusting display of fondness. Spits out the last word. He warned Sharzal about the possible attempt on his life, and personally hired Catarol, one of the best bodyguards in Alushinyrra, to guard his father's life. Samira has to shout to be heard over the indignant clamor of her demonic audience. There's more. During the last attempt on Sharzal's life, this mortal, driven by the most disgusting feelings of duty and gratitude for his own existence, tried to cover his father with his own body to save him from the assassin's dagger. We find such actions to be criminally insane and dangerous. Therefore, whilst justice demands that we sentence this mortal to death, Sharzal's property will be declared destitute of an heir and henceforth accessible to anyone who wishes to take possession of it. The tiefling is too weak to protest. In the same return, he's executed by the guards. Smiles at your eyes, sparkling with excitement. She seems uninterested in the drama that just played out before your eyes. Thank you for our conversation. I expect to find it interesting, but I have no idea what our discussion would be. So thought-provoking. I'm glad we decided to come here with you. I sincerely hope you'll visit me again. Hope to see you at my manor soon. I host small receptions for most interesting notaries around the upper city. Conversations at these receptions are always entertaining. If you were to attend, we could continue our discussion about love. Of course, seriously doubt my guests would be as interested in this topic as I am, so perhaps we should finish our conversation in private. Hope to see you soon. Tweet Dren608. Don't stay away too long. I'm looking forward to our next visit. 723. She disappears, so I want to get out of here before she takes notice that I'm even here. Right? Because I kind of ticked her off. Okay, now what? Well, we're coming up on a cut, so before we go back to her holdings, kind of been running around here like a chicken with a head cut off. And I figured we'll go and we'll finish her up. Make sure we have our buffs up before we go into this time, because second time through. I don't know if we'll end up having to fight her or what, but we'll try and see what we can do here. Okay? So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. You really like to see, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notify bell to be notified, upload videos, and schedule streams. And I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.